In this video, I am going to show you step by step how you can create your own custom GPT on ChatGPT. You can create and use custom GPTs as your personal AI assistant. And don't worry, you don't need any technical expertise to create this GPT. You can train ChatGPT with some instructions, some custom knowledge, and some scenarios, and then it will work as your own virtual assistant. So let's not waste any time and get started. First thing first, to create a custom GPT, you'll need a ChatGPT Plus account. Only then you'll be able to create one for yourself. And I am going to use the word GPT a lot in this video. On your ChatGPT dashboard, click on this Explore GPT option. Here, you'll find hundreds and thousands of custom GPT which are trained by other people to do certain tasks. For example, here's this Humanize AI, which can turn any AI-generated text into human-written content. We also have this AI Video Summarizer, which can summarize any YouTube video. These are some basic examples of custom GPT. Now, to create your own custom GPT, simply click on this Create button here. This will take us to this page where we can start building our own GPT. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see these two options. You can click on Create, which will open up this conversational interface. We also have the Configure tab, where you can manually fill out all the information about your GPT. And you can use both options to create and modify your AI assistant. On the right side, you'll see the preview of your custom GPT. So, first, I'll start with the conversational mode. Here, you'll see some instructions and questions from ChatGPT. It will basically ask you all the information about your custom GPT and then construct itself based on your inputs. Here, it is asking, what would you like to make? For the sake of this video, I am going to create a simple GPT that can write me some engaging social media posts. Let's say Twitter, for example. So I want to create a social media assistant which can craft some engaging tweets for me. And then I'll send this message here. And as you can see, ChatGPT is updating itself based on my response. Once it's done, the AI will suggest a name for this custom GPT. If you have some other name in mind, you can suggest it here in the chat box. For now, I don't have anything specific in my mind, so I will go ahead with this name. Okay, now ChatGPT will generate a profile picture for this AI assistant. This one is looking cool, so I will confirm it as my profile picture. Of course, you can always ask it to create different profile pictures, and you can even mention the specifics to get better results. Another important thing you need to do here is right-click on this profile picture and then click on Search with Google Lens option. This will find all the logos and pictures that are similar to this one. We don't want to use a logo that's used by a big brand or have a trademark. Okay, now ChatGPT will ask you a few more questions, like what should it emphasize on, or what are the things that it needs to avoid? Here, you basically need to tell it step by step how do you expect it to respond to the queries. Remember, you are the admin of this GPT. If you are making it for your personal use, then simply instruct it accordingly. But if you are planning to make money out of it, then you should also think from the user's perspective, and then you need to instruct this GPT. Think about the tone that you want it to respond with. Think about what info it will need to produce better output. Think about what it should avoid. In my case, I've asked it to maintain a friendly and casual tone. I can mention some tweet styles to focus on. I will also instruct it to use an easy-to-understand language. Lastly, I want it to avoid every other task except writing tweets. And if the user asks it for a different task, it should avoid it. And then I will send all these instructions to ChatGPT. Now, based on your responses, ChatGPT can ask more questions. For example, it is asking me how it should interact with the users. So I will give it some more instructions. I'll also ask it to dig deeper and ask questions from the user before crafting any tweet. Okay, once the AI gets all this information, it will ask you to test the GPT. You can test the GPT on this Preview tab on the right. So, I will simply ask it if it can write some tweets for me. Here you can see that it is asking me some questions. As I instructed, it is trying to find the topics, my plans, and my target audience. For now, Let's not give it any of this information and just ask it to write a tweet on the topic of YouTube automation. I've asked it to write a funny tweet. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so it has given me this response here. This is a very basic response, and I don't think it will work well. So, I will now train this AI even further and give it more instructions to write more refined tweets. First, I'll ask it to write the tweets without these hashtags, as it is an old format and doesn't work anymore. I will also update it about the latest Twitter algorithm change. I will also give it some templates and resources, which will help it with writing tweets. So, let's go to the Configure tab now. Here, you will see all these settings related to the Custom GPT. As you can see, most of the info here are exactly the same. And that's because these two different tabs work together to create these Custom GPT. You can also update some information here, which will then be updated in the AI assistants. For now, I will simply modify the description here. Next, under the Instructions tab, you'll see a brief about all the information and instructions we provided it earlier. Here, in the instructions, you can see that we've asked it to avoid any other task than writing the tweets. So let's check whether it's following the instructions or not. I will simply ask it about the weather, and let's see the response. Here, as you can see, it didn't answer this question. Instead, it reverted my attention back to writing tweets. We also have this conversation starters on the left. Here, you'll see 4 different conversation starters that users can use to start the conversation. Of course, they can use something different too, but these are just for example. We can also add or delete these conversation starters as per our need. Next, we have this knowledge setting. Here, you can provide some additional files to this GPT as reference. And then the GPT will use it to complete tasks. So, I will simply upload my social media templates list here. This is basically a document that contains a list of more than 60 social media templates. And now, I will instruct it to write tweets based on these templates. And then, I will go to Preview and ask it to write tweets for me. That's how you need to work on your custom GPT. We need to give it instructions first, and then we need to test the output. If the GPT doesn't follow the instructions, we need to again ask it to follow it. We need to keep modifying the responses of this GPT and try to improve it as much as possible. Now let's go to the Configure tab again. Here, when you scroll down, you'll see this Capabilities section. First up, we have the Web Browsing option. Next, we also have the Image Generation and Code Interpreter features. You can enable or disable these based on your needs. Next up, we have Actions settings. Here, we can create new actions. Basically, it allows us to connect with some external services and their API. This part is a bit technical, so if you want, you can avoid this part. But this is a very important feature, and you can create a very advanced AI assistant by using this feature. Since this video is for beginners, I won't cover this feature. But if you want, I can create a detailed tutorial on how to use this feature to create some advanced AI bots. Simply comment tutorial in the comments section, and if enough people will be interested, I will make a separate video on this. For now, let's go back to the Configure tab and look at the remaining settings. If we go to the additional settings, you'll see this option. Enabling this will give ChatGPT access to the chats. This is only for the research purpose, and they'll use the information to train their models. Of course, you can disable this option if you want to maintain some privacy. So these are some basic settings of this custom GPT. I will now spend some more time refining the outputs of this script. For example, I will repeat the entire scenario to this GPT builder and ask it to strictly follow the templates. And then I will check it again. I will keep tweaking the prompts and check the outputs. And then if any changes will required, I will do it. And I'll repeat and retest the GPT until it starts to provide some cool responses. Now, as you can see, the GPT is following the templates in every tweet. It is also using emojis in every tweet to make it more attractive. If we compare it with the very first response that it gave us, you can clearly see the difference. Not to mention that I've only spent 30 minutes creating this GPT. Imagine how much we can improve if we train it for different scenarios, different niches, and different target audience. If you can just spend 2 hours to create your own GPT, you'll have your own personal assistant, and you can create as many GPTs as you want, as there is no limit. Okay, I think we are pretty much done here, and now it's time for us to publish this GPT. To do that, click on this Create button on the top right. Here we have 3 options. We can use this GPT only for ourselves. Next, we can only give the access to this GPT using an access link. And last but not least, we can directly publish this GPT in the GPT store. From there, everyone can get access to this custom GPT. So I will select the GPT store option, and then we also need to select the category. Our GPT will be in the writing category, and then I will hit this Save button. Now, I can copy the link and send it to someone else. Or I can simply click on this View GPT button and use it for myself. I will also leave this GPT link in the video description. You can test this yourself and let me know how it goes. And if you want to know how to monetize these custom GPT, then make sure to comment money in the comment section. And then I will create a step-by-step tutorial on how you can monetize these GPT. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video.